welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. It's great to see you. If it's your first time here, awesome. Great to have you. If you've been here before, welcome back, my love. I will be doing another episode of Hacking Happiness Live, and I'm going to tell you my fourth hack. I started with my first hack after telling the story of how I lost everything, including my mind. For those of you who haven't seen it, the links are in the description below for the podcast. It's on all platforms, Spotify, Apple. Check it out. Follow me there. There's links to all the other social platforms as well. But yeah, so this is a video version, and then you have the audio version that I will upload after we're done doing this live, right? So it's great to see you guys. Make sure to leave a comment. I will read your comments. Any questions, I will answer them at the end. I will share your comments on the screen and I'll answer them. If you've been around and you've subscribed to my channel for a while now and you have questions, esoteric questions, astrology questions, I cover everything I have used for me to have a more empowered life. So shoot away, ask me anything, I'm here. And if you watch this as a replay, leave a comment. They are my fuel. I will respond. All right? And become a member. Members get one-on-one with me. You can't beat the deal. And you ask me anything, and even if you miss my member-only lives, you can still send me a message. The email link is in the description below once you become a member, and say, hey, in case I miss it. And that way you can go and watch the answers to whatever you need in there for you. You can download it, keep it. You know what I mean? All right, guys. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to let me know. So the first two hacks was literally getting out of this dark hole that I was in. The first thing had to be the first step, right? And when they say baby steps, I'm not kidding. It's baby steps. And I just want to check the mic here just in case. Okay, all right. I'm I can't see you. And the first thing I really did, just to get out of the negative funk was to whistle. So I said that was the first hack, and I went into detail in that episode. Check that out. The second one was the visualization and practicing that, and how I found that it works. It's it's not just something you read. Watch that episode. The third hack, actually, now I'm thinking, forgive me, as I think I might be getting myself confused here between the third or the fourth hack. I'm literally popping up. Matter of fact, oh, look at this. Talk about a plugin right here. And it wasn't planned. Oh, let me see. Window. There we go. You see that? I don't know why I don't pop in. I follow myself. Because I have two podcasts. I have the Olga Pérez show, talking about trending topics, social, life, relationship issues, the current events. And it's more of just fun, relaxing, shooting the shit, and, being raw and real. But it's more the fun zone of what it's like to just hang out with me and talk about anything, okay? Like joining me for a happy hour, for example. And as you can see here is my Hacking Happiness and the Olga Pérez show, like I just explained. And as you know, when you're watching, here's the Hacking Happiness. And let's see. I can't believe I thought I had it all. Oh, so we are going on the third hack. I figured no wonder I couldn't remember what was the third hack, podcast episode. As you can see right here. So yeah, make sure to follow. Leave me a review. Let me know what you think. Give it a few chances before you give me a review. Maybe the first one, you don't know. But yeah, there's a series of episodes. It's all good stuff. It's all empowering stuff. it'll at least put a smile on your face at the very least. So try that out. Look it up. Share this podcast. Share this video. Help people find me, especially those that you know, friends, family, coworkers that, could use a little distraction, little pick-me-up, pep talk, or just to make them laugh. Because the whole thing is, I don't want to be lectured. So my style is all about how to tell stories. And then even no matter how negative the stories are, I'll always find the positive about it, or I'll find a way to make fun with it, because that was always my overall hack. But I talk about it in the previous episodes about how I even got to the crisis, how I did lose everything, including my mind. And that's just in a nutshell. It was bad. Bad. I mean, it was that classic depression where you couldn't get out of bed, but it was worse. Like, I wanted to die. I didn't want to commit suicide, but I didn't want to live. But you know what? It doesn't matter how bad things are going for you right now, or how they've been bad in the past, or how bad you might think it will be in the future, or you're just anticipating that, right now things are good, but you never know. Things can happen bad. But that's why Hacking Happiness is all about getting through it, not just if you're at your worst now and you want to know how to get out of it, or if you want to prevent going back to that place of pessimism, depression, anger, anxiety. And I mean it. I had it all. The anxiety attacks. For me personally, I was a happy-go-lucky person. And I always used humor as a survival skill. But then I cracked. Then it was too much. Then everything happened, right? And like I already mentioned, the first two hacks. And I'm telling you the hacks in order as I was getting out of this hole. And I'm not going to lie to you. It took a good 6 months before I really could see some light coming in my future. And it took me about 4 years to really kick it. But then it still took me another few years to really heal and learn the habits and the tactics, the hacks that I had promised myself. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And again, we'll continue with the story as we go. Every episode is going to be detail by detail, chronologically on what happened, what did I do, etc. So I don't want to discourage you thinking it's going to take you forever to get there. No. That's why I started the Hacking Happiness, so that you don't have to go through the years that I went through and the money and the time, the trial and error. That's why it's called Hacking Happiness. Once I figured out these hacks and I implemented them and they became a part of me, that was it. That was it. I can make better decisions. I can get rid of toxic people quicker. Through these hacks, I can basically not let something bother me for days and weeks and months and years to hours and minutes. Yes. It is possible. And I know we hear this all the time, but here's what I want to change about the wellness, the self-help community, the empowerment community, the mental health community, the cultural, social issues that affect our level of happiness. I mean, some people don't even know, like, what is happiness? Like, is that even a conceivable thing? Like, I never wake up and go, oh, I want happiness. I was one of the people that did. I was like, I want happiness. Because especially, I've always loved having fun. I've always liked to be around happy people. I've always looked for a good time. That was just me. That's me personally, right? My personality. And for everything to fall apart and to really lose my soul, my mind. I mean, it was hell on earth in every way, mentally, physically. If you know from my past podcasts, I lost everything. Couldn't pay rent. the car was going to get repossessed. Up until that point, I never had to ask for help. And it wasn't that I had the pride. I just wanted to make sure that I could depend on myself. Luckily, there were people that reached out, tried to help me in any way they could, but I was in such a state that I didn't want it. So it's not even just that I never had to ask for help before. I mean, this was just, you just don't see it coming, I'm telling you. And some people experience extreme hardship early on in life, others in the middle, others in the end. But the world would be a happier place if instead of, hey, how they train you to go to school, how they train you in school to be functional for the workforce, they're not training you to be happy. So, hacking happiness. Number 3. Here's the third hack. I had to promise myself, just like when I left my family's house, and I was only 17, illegally. In Spain, you're not independent until you're 18. You can't just emancipate yourself. It's not the same as here. And at least it might have changed now, but at the time, okay, years ago. And I remember because I didn't feel loved and I felt that nobody liked me. They were annoyed by me. Oh, you're too loud. You're this. I was very different than anyone in my family. And I was embarrassing to them. So I'm sure they loved me, but they didn't show it. They didn't show it at all. And I got insulted every day, Yeah, real mental, emotional, physical abuse. And I was forced to work in my parents' business. That's going to be in a few other chapters of my book that I'm working on as we speak. But that was the first time that I understood the power of determination. And when I was getting out of this black hole, 15 years later, after I worked so hard to have everything, perfect credit, everything. Then I took a leap, took a risk, did an adventure, and of course I failed. And I couldn't handle it. Because being funny wasn't the cure. It's not the right hack. Neither is drinking, right, or doing drugs to alleviate or to numb. So here I was, remembering I was trying to find answers. I was trying to find a way. So I'm like, okay, well, what I did in the past didn't work. What do I do now? Well, I got to figure out, how did I get here? Like, how did I let my mind, my life get to that point? And I got to find the answers and the truth. What is the truth? And so I was determined, just like when I left my family's home, I was determined. I literally walked off in their business in the middle of the busiest time of the business, customers packing in, and I'm walking out, and I remember saying, I will be loved. So up until this point, to this day, I will be loved. I will be around people that love me and that treat me lovingly, period. One of the best hacks, and that was my first hack without even knowing it at 17. You're welcome. Anyway, you get me, right? So now I have to use that same fixed mentality, aka determination, to get out of this hole. Mentally, financially, you name it. Depression, loneliness, abandonment, broke, and nobody would hire me because I was overqualified, which I've already said. So I'm not trying to be repetitive, but if this is the first time you're hearing my podcast, just to bring you right there, okay? So you can imagine where I was. And the determination was, I've got to figure this out. I've got to find the truth. What's the point on living? If everything's always about losing, You work your ass off and you get on the horse and you fall down, you get back on. What? Why would I want to do that for the rest of my life? Why would I want to do that? Like, I need to find the answer. After seeking relentlessly, and I'm broke, mind you. So I'm sitting at the library on the floor. Well, actually in Barnes and Nobles, right? So the bookstores. I would not find much at the local library that was free. But definitely in the self-help, which I don't even know if they still call it self-help section. But here it was. And I just spent all my time. I mean, I was unemployed. What else would I was going to do? I knew one thing. I needed to get rid of this horrible feeling that was completely consuming my every single cell of my being. I wanted to get rid of that like a bad freaking headache. But even worse, I'd rather have a headache. I'd rather break a leg. The physical pain. And I was experiencing physical pain because of the mental and financial misery. Hence anxiety attacks. But even worse, I could actually, that place was so bad, so deep, so dark, that I would have rather had more anxiety attacks than the emptiness and they say that not everyone suffers the same, and I do believe that. There was a course I took, I forget if it was like a religion course, and one of the books that the professor told us to get was C.S. Lewis, A Grievance Observed. Boy, did that book fall in my hands at the right time. And again, I'm getting ahead of myself, and we'll get back to that book in a future podcast as I'm telling you the story chronologically. But for today's third hack that got me to the next baby step of changing my life, of getting out of the hole, mind, body, and soul, was no matter what, I gotta never give up looking for the answer. At least that gave me some level of distraction and relief and direction. And I'm almost tempted to tell you the fourth hack. But you must get used to making a decision and going full throttle and never giving up. And there's nothing outside, no pills, nothing that's going to make you do it. It's like when you want to start a diet and then you give up on it. We've all done it in so many ways, right? I'm going to stop hanging out with this person. We still do it. I'm going to break up with this person. We still date them. We still hook up with them, right? Guess what? That's okay. The other way that it's so powerful, that people underestimate the power of determination and making a goal and sticking to it. Stick to it. If you fall off the horse of determination, you get back on. But you don't beat yourself up and you don't feel like a victim about it. You just go, okay, well, hold on. What do they say? Eye on the prize, baby. Eye on the prize. So right now, make a decision, pick one, stick to it, and don't give up no matter what. You keep the eye on the prize. Make a decision. Whatever it is that you want more of and less of, you are determined to pursue and achieve that, and or to, even if you already have it, to keep it. And the bad people, the negative people, the shitty job, whatever it is, make a decision to get out. Make a decision not to answer the phone. It can be a great, huge determination, or it could be a small determination. But stick to your guns and do it with all heart and soul. It's funny when we're passionate about something. Not only is it easier to pursue, and very rarely somebody drops their passions. You just can't help it. Passion consumes you. It's what keeps us alive. It's the fire. I also call passion love, or that it comes from love. Because everything is love. And if you don't know that, that is all about hacking happiness. It's that self-love that you're developing as you choose, okay, I'm going to do this hack, and I'm going to master it, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Well, until the next podcast, stay tuned. It's coming soon. Until next time, much love, many blessings, and I'll talk to you soon.